Take a slow breath right now. You don't need to fix anything in this moment. You don't need to decide, explain, or improve yourself. Just allow your body to arrive here. Let your shoulders drop a little. Let your jaw unclench. Let the noise of the day fade into the background. This is a quiet space. A space where you don't have to perform. A space where you can be honest without consequences. If you're here tonight, it's probably because a thought has been circling your mind for a while. A heavy, quiet thought. The feeling that you don't spend enough time with your family. Not in the way you wish you did. Not in the way you imagined you would. And that thought doesn't usually arrive loudly. It shows up late at night when the house is quiet, when everyone else is asleep, when the distractions finally fall away. It shows up as a tightness in your chest, as a subtle ache, as a sentence you don't say out loud. I should be there more. I should do better. Time is moving too fast. And the hardest part is that this feeling exists alongside love. You love your family. You love them deeply. And that's exactly why this hurts. If you didn't care, this wouldn't touch you at all. This guilt doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're attached. It means your nervous system is aware of something meaningful. But the mind turns that awareness into a verdict. It starts telling a story that you're missing something irreversible, that you're letting time slip through your hands, that one day it will be too late, and your body reacts to that story as if it's already true. Your breathing becomes shallow, your shoulders tense, your heart speeds up. You replay moments you weren't there, even moments that were unavoidable. Workdays, responsibilities, exhaustion, survival. You start measuring yourself against an impossible standard. A version of you that is always present, always patient, always available. But that version doesn't exist. Not because you're flawed, because you're human. Modern life quietly pulls us away from the people we care about, not through cruelty, but through pressure, through schedules, through financial stress, through the constant demand to be productive, stable, responsible. And over time, presence becomes something you miss rather than something you inhabit. The mind says, if I really love them, I would find more time. But love isn't measured only in hours. Love is also carried in intention, in worry, in the way your thoughts return to them even when you're apart. Right now, notice that you're here listening to this because your family matters to you. That already tells a different story than the one guilt is trying to sell you. Guilt says you are absent, but care says you are aware. And awareness is the beginning of presence, not the end of it. The problem isn't that you don't care enough. The problem is that your nervous system is stuck in a loop of pressure and regret. And no amount of self-criticism will create more connection. It only tightens the distance. Real presence doesn't come from forcing yourself to be better. It comes from calming the part of you that feels constantly behind. So let's do something small and real right now. Bring your attention back to your breath. Not to control it, just to notice it. Feel the air entering your body. Feel it leaving. Nothing else to do. As you breathe, imagine that the weight you carry about your family doesn't need to be solved tonight. Can rest here for a moment. You are allowed to pause the self-judgment. You are allowed to be unfinished. Time with your family isn't only built in grand gestures or perfect availability. It's built in moments of emotional safety. And emotional safety begins with you not being at war with yourself. When you're calmer, you're more present. When you're more present, connection naturally deepens, even in small windows of time. You don't need to rewrite your life tonight. You don't need to plan or promise or compensate. All you need to do is soften. because a regulated nervous system is the most reliable foundation for meaningful connection. Notice how your body feels now compared to a few minutes ago. Even a slight shift matters. That shift is what presence feels like in its simplest form. And presence is not measured in quantity. It's measured in quality. Your family doesn't need a perfect version of you. They need a version of you that is emotionally reachable. And that begins here in moments like this when you choose to slow down instead of spiraling. There will be days when you wish you had done more. That's part of caring deeply. But those thoughts don't define the truth of your relationships. They are signals, not sentences. You are allowed to learn presence gradually. You are allowed to arrive imperfectly. The fact that this concern lives inside you is not evidence of failure. It is evidence of attachment, responsibility, and love under pressure. Let that land gently. You are not late. You are not missing everything. You are here now. And now is where connection always starts. Stay with that for a few breaths. Let the night hold the rest. You don't have to carry it all alone. As you stay here, breathing slowly, it may become clearer how much pressure you've been carrying without realizing it. The pressure to be enough. The pressure to show up correctly. The pressure to not waste time. And when it comes to family, that pressure cuts deeper because there is love underneath it. Love mixed with fear. Fear of absence. Fear of regret. Fear that one day you'll look back and realize something important slipped through your hands. The mind is very good at turning love into urgency. It says, hurry, fix this now, do more, be better. But urgency is not the same as care. Urgency tightens the body. Care softens it. And when the body is constantly tight, presence becomes harder, not easier. You might notice that when you finally have time with your family, your mind is still elsewhere, thinking about what needs to be done, what you forgot, what's coming next. That absence doesn't come from lack of love. It comes from a nervous system that never fully powers down. So instead of asking, how can I spend more time? A gentler question is, how can I arrive more fully when I am there? Even for a few minutes, even briefly. Presence doesn't require hours. It requires permission. Permission to stop scanning for threats. Permission to not optimize every moment. Permission to let yourself be seen as you are, not as a finished product. Many people carry an unspoken belief that they must become better before they are allowed to relax. But that belief keeps them permanently tense. And tension is what creates emotional distance, even when you're physically close. Tonight, you are allowed to reverse that pattern. You are allowed to rest without earning it. You are allowed to be a work in progress without shame. Notice if there is a part of you that feels emotional when you think about your family. A tightness behind the eyes, a heaviness in the chest. That sensation doesn't need to be pushed away. It's a signal of attachment, of meaning. Let it be there without turning it into a story about failure. Sensations can exist without explanations. Emotions can move without conclusions. And as you allow them, something important happens. The body learns that it is safe to feel without panicking. That safety is the same safety your family feels when you are calm and grounded. You don't need to model perfection. You model regulation. You model coming back to yourself. You model repair instead of performance. And repair is far more powerful than never making mistakes. If you've missed moments, that doesn't mean connection is gone. Connection is resilient. It stretches. It waits. It responds to honesty and presence far more than to constant availability. Right now, you are practicing the most essential skill for meaningful relationships. Staying with yourself without judgment. That skill carries forward. It shows up in your tone, in your patience, in the way you listen instead of rushing to respond. You don't have to force this. It emerges naturally when the nervous system settles. Take another slow breath. Feel the surface beneath you. Let gravity do some of the work for you. You don't have to hold everything up. Life will continue moving. Time will continue passing. But you don't need to fight that reality to be connected. You meet it by being here now without resistance. And when you do, moments stop feeling like they're slipping away. They start feeling inhabited. That's the shift that matters. Not more effort, more presence. Not more guilt, more softness. Tonight, let yourself rest in the understanding that caring deeply sometimes feels like fear. But fear is not a verdict. It's a sign that something precious exists. You are not behind. You are learning how to be present in a world that rarely slows down. That learning doesn't disqualify you, humanizes you. Stay with that sense of permission for a few more breaths. Let the night do what it does best. Quiet the edges. Hold what you don't need to solve. And when you return to your family, even briefly, you'll bring something more valuable than extra time. You'll bring a calmer version of yourself. And that is always felt.